How much longer are you willing to self-abandon yourself to avoid pain, to avoid the pain of change? Because most people, they don't stay stuck because they want to. They stay stuck because the pain of the familiar feels safer than the unknown. So if you're dealing with this, you're watching this video for a reason. I want you to come with me, stay with me. You're not going to need another video. Let's go. We're doing this right now. Come on. There's a difference between being resilient and quietly betraying yourself just to stay in the familiar, just to stay in what feels like, what feels comfortable to you and what's kept you safe. Because what's kept you safe for many years, belief systems that have kept you safe, strategies that you have mentally, physically, whatever the case may be, that have kept you feeling safe, might actually be what's holding you back now, because you're feeling like you can't change, because if you change, then something bad's going to happen if you go outside of that box, outside of those belief systems that at one time maybe kept you very safe, and maybe was the smartest thing you could have done was to develop that belief system, was to take those kind of certain actions, to have those mental thoughts, because those protected you from something that was maybe very serious going on in your life. So I'm not trying to poo-poo any of that. I think that was very wise of you. But it could be what's actually holding you back and keeping you down and keeping you from moving on and keeping you from evolving and keeping you from being who you're really meant to be and how you're really meant to express yourself in the world. So let's just slow down for a second, be with that for a moment, and just really take a moment to reflect on that. Like, am I doing that? Am I holding on to a belief system? Am I holding on to prior knowledge or prior experiences or prior traumas that have kept me safe for a while but are no longer serving me? Because if that's the case, we have to wake up and let them go. We have to wake up and let them go, because if we don't, they're going to continue controlling us. They're going to seep deeper and deeper and deeper into our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, our unconscious mind, all of the above, because that's what's kept you safe. And that survival mechanism that's in all of us as humans is very, very strong. It's very, very powerful, and it's very, very wonderful. But it can be a very tricky devil to let go, because it wants to hold on for dear life. And even when you do start letting go of the belief systems and you are replacing them with something else, and those negative belief systems that no longer serve you, that maybe served you at one time, they're going to fight for their lives to stay with you because they feel like you're abandoning them. You hear that? It feels like you're abandoning them. And actually, when you do that and you're allowing the negative belief systems to sort of guilt you in a way into having you feel like you're abandoning them, that is actually how you are self-abandoning yourself. So we need to just let that go and wake up to that and realize that. And once we do that, then we just keep moving forward step by step, and it's all good. And that's the thing that trips us up more than anything, I feel like, because the ego, it clings to what's known even if it's painful. Not because it's good, but because it's predictable. The ego literally prefers certainty over freedom. The ego prefers certainty over freedom. Just know that. And we don't have to say that, like, okay, so the ego's bad, right? The ego's a negative thing. No, I think the ego gets a bad rap. The ego keeps us grounded in life. It keeps our belief systems in place. It helps us, but we got to know how to use the ego. It is not something that we need to get rid of or push away, but it's something that we need to utilize and recognize that it's there for our good, but we have to use it for good, because it can also be used for evil. Don't beat up on yourself so much when these old belief systems continue to come to the forefront when you're trying to change, because that's just them fighting for their lives. Again, like I said earlier. You see, because self-abandonment can often disguise itself as loyalty or responsibility. We say to ourselves, oh, we're being strong, we're being mature, we're being realistic, but we're actually ignoring our own truth. And that truth is that we are God itself. We are all that is. We are creation itself. We are creators of our own reality. So what we say goes. We have the final say. So we could change a belief system at any time that we want. We don't have to worry about what other people think of our belief systems. We only need to worry about what we think about them and how they make us feel in that moment. And if a belief system makes us feel amazing in the moment and we feel like we can move forward and we're being more of ourselves, well, then that is the key that you have struck gold. And I say, keep going. There's a quiet moment when you realize something has to change. It's not a dramatic breakdown, although it can be, but you don't have to wait until it gets to that point where you're having a dramatic breakdown or something crazy happens in your life and you have to wake up and realize that you need to change. You don't have to wait until that point. Instead, you'll find that it's just a deep, guttural, but deep inner knowing that you can no longer keep living this way. And when you have that moment of, man, I just can't keep living this way, it's something quiet, it's something is something so, it's like a whisper inside of you. When you have that moment of realization that you can't live like this anymore, you can't keep carrying this baggage, you can't keep carrying this trauma, you can't keep caring about what people think about you, and you can't keep carrying with you belief systems that no longer serve you. When you finally have that moment, you can let it go in that moment. You can let it go in that exact moment. You don't have to let it be with you any longer. Because once you realize and bring that to your conscious attention, it's gone. From there, you're continuing to choose that belief system. You understand? Does that make sense? If you make that realization, oh, I'm living a way that I can no longer live, and you realize that and you know that you want to change, and maybe you've chosen a different belief system, but then you go back to the old belief system, it's no longer an unconscious choice where you don't know about it. That's you continuing to make that choice consciously. Because again, it feels safe, it feels comfortable. Allow yourself to be uncomfortable. Allow yourself to go into the unknown. If at nothing more, you find more of yourself, you could finally be and live the person and the experience that you really deserve to live. Growth begins when your desire for alignment becomes stronger than your fear of change. That is when transformation truly begins. Because you don't have to be afraid of change. And choosing yourself doesn't mean rejecting others. Choosing yourself means you're finally including yourself in your own life. And that's the way you're supposed to live, baby. Yeah! And so, my friends, the question is not can I change? It's how much longer am I willing to wait until I finally do? How much am I willing to wait and tolerate myself, this old version of myself, these old belief systems, this old me that no longer supports who I want to be, who I know I can be? And also, what does staying in self-abandonment cost you at the end of the day compared to making those steps to move forward in your life? Guys, I love you so much, and I know that you're capable of it, and I almost fell in that river right there, but that's okay because you might almost fall back into those old belief systems every once in a while, but it's important when you find yourself and you catch yourself falling into those old belief systems that you have grace with yourself, patience with yourself, and celebrate when you actually do find yourself in those moments of old belief systems and old self versions, because that means you're becoming more aware of it, you're becoming more awake to it. And the more that you're awake to it, the more that you have the ability to transform it in your own life, because you actually can, and you are a worthy and deserving being, and I love you so much. Guys, my name is Maxwell Miller, by the way, and these are the times, if you made it this far in the video and you are ready to abandon self-abandonment, smash that like button and subscribe and comment down below, I'm done. If you are finally done with self-abandonment and you're actually going to start including yourself in your own life, because that is the life that you came here to live, my friend. Trust me. I love you so much, and we'll see you guys in the next video.